Our off-road adventures and hiking excursions over the years have taken us to some of the most stunning places in the American Southwest. But besides the rig, we have found out that the camera gear that we carry to remember and share these adventures is just as important. Until recently, we have been using the Holy Stone HS720E on our adventures, and we've been using it for many years now. But in recent months, we found out that it's been having quite a few issues, causing us not to use it as frequently. Today, we are going to be testing out our brand new drone that we purchased and sharing it with you and finding out if it meets the qualifications for the best budget drone for off-roaders. And today we are going to be showing you and taking out for its first flight our Potensic Atom 2. Holy Stone drone here we have used for a long time. As you can see, it's gotten dirty, it's been in the sand, and we've used it and we've had some video quality issues with it recently. Now, this drone you can still purchase on Amazon. It's running about $300 as of the recording of this video. Now, why are we replacing it? If you've seen some footage from our stuff recently, it's been a little bit shaky when we fly the drone, or some comments said that it kind of looks like something from the 1980s. So this guy has probably seen its last YouTube flights, but today we're gonna take it out with the Potensic Atom 2 so you can see the difference between what we're coming from in case you are looking at a drone and this price point, so you know what you're to be expecting from that. Here is how the Potensic Atom 2 comes. It comes in this really nice case. It comes with a box and everything, but I already kind of unwrapped it and got everything prepared. But as you can see here, everything is nice and tucked together. I did charge all the batteries last night, so you're gonna wanna do that before you fly, otherwise they're in a safe mode and you won't be able to fly your drone. So here is the really cool remote. I wish it had a screen like the DJI ones, but this should be a lot better than the one that we have been using on Holy Stone. And I can compare those here in a while. But it does have its little attachments back here to put on, and we'll put that in there, and it's got different modes here and buttons. But here is the drone itself and how it comes. So he is all wrapped up. He's got a little gimbal protector that you want to keep on while traveling. And here is the battery compartment. And the batteries are a lot smaller than the Holy Stones, and they pack a better punch. We did buy the Fly More kit, so we got it with 3 batteries total and the charger. So the Potensic Atom 2 comes with 4K video capabilities, and it has a 3-axis gimbal on the front. It is also under 250 grams, but it also has the FDA compliance remote ID that is required. So if you do want to use that, you can, and you can turn that on or off in the app. As you can see, it's nice and compact. I'll put it up against the Holy Stone here so you guys can see kind of. Here's a Holy Stone, here's this guy. He's a lot smaller. A lot thinner too. But drones have come a long way in 5 years. So I got the app configured, the drone registered, purchased the protection plan for a year in case something goes wrong, because you never know when something's going to crash out in the middle of nowhere. And so I think we're ready to go and take both of the drones out and try out the Potensic Atom 2 for real out in the environment where we normally are. So we're going to load up the Subaru and we're going to head on out. So it got super windy by the time we got up here yesterday. So it is a new day and we are gonna get the Potensic up in the air here in a minute. But the first one we're gonna launch just for comparison's sake so we can kind of see like how big the quality has changed. So we're gonna get the Holy Stone 720E up so that you can kind of see like the difference in 4K quality, because I think it's going to be quite staggering. And then we're going to go through all the flight modes and find out if this is really the best purchase you can make for the money if you're doing this for off-roading. So we finally have the drone reconnected to the phone. This phone hasn't ran this drone before. We've upgraded since the last time we flew this drone. But But anywho, I'm going to get it started, and then we're going to fly it over the canyon, kind of do some of its shots, and then we'll get the Potensic up in the air. So I'm going to unlock it. Okay, I'm going to start recording. Okay, we've got a light breeze today, but it should be okay. So I'm going to adjust its camera. We've got about 18 satellites, so we're going to shoot her up. And we're going to leave it in beginner mode just because we don't want to get too high today. So I'm going to adjust the camera down. So we're just going to fly over this canyon quick. And there it goes. And this is the problem we have. I am trying to communicate with it, and it is doing absolutely nothing, which is super frustrating. So we're gonna lower it. Oh, I can maybe lower it, but maybe it'll turn. Come on. It'll back up and it'll go forward, but it doesn't want to turn. And there's no reason why it shouldn't. We're gonna land it quick. See if maybe we get out of beginner mode. And this is something you probably shouldn't do, as I typically end up landing it in the dirt because we're usually out somewhere. And we gotta avoid the rock. Okay. A little more forward. Now we're gonna get the Potensic Atom 2 up in the air, and we're gonna compare. I'm pretty excited since this drone we've had this Holy Stone for 5 years now, and on days I'm trying to show what it's not doing right, it actually works. So it's still a decent drone after 5 years. It's just, it definitely has some flight issues, but you can see that in the film, obviously. So let's get the Potensic up in the air and see what all those modes do, because obviously with the Holy Stone, we just don't have that many modes. So we have everything connected, all ready to go. It was really easy. Got everything calibrated because we've never flown this drone at all. So this is gonna be cool. We have it ready to go. It says where takeoff is permitted. So let me get a screen recording started. And then we can compare that to the other one. So we're gonna start recording. We do have 24 satellites. The Holy Stone is only picking up 19. So it seems like we're gonna have a better shot with this guy. So just gotta figure out how to take it off now. We've got it hovering and looks like it's doing good. And we're just gonna do a manual flight above this canyon. Oh, it's okay, zoom's on that side, so it's got some optical zoom here. So let's go straight. Oh my goodness, it's so much faster. Having a little bit of breakup on the remote here. Nothing too major. We're gonna turn. Gonna drop it a little bit here. I might have to change the sensitivity on these guys. Let's fly straight towards us. Oh yeah, this is nice. I really love the clarity here and the control. So we're going to turn him back around and we're going to do some of those modes. So there we go. Okay, so we're going to get back in position and we're going to turn it around and see what it can do with some of these modes it has. So let's get it looked at on the Subaru, because we use vehicles most of the time when we're flying. Okay, let's try that. Drain the pull away. Oh yeah, that's real nice. I like that. And you could, and what's really nice is that it's so much faster than the other drone. Okay, so let's bring her back in. Okay, let's get lined up for a different shot here. Let's turn around. This is so much more responsive than our old drone. And to be fair to the Holy Stone, for what it is, it does a really good job. Okay, I found the car. Okay, we're gonna do a rocket. Got a little breakup in the remote there, but nothing too major. Okay, we're gonna try another shot. We're gonna try that dolly zoom one. Here we go.
Next we decided we were going to try the circle mode, and I actually really like a lot of these modes that are available on the Potensic Atom 2. Now you're going to want to watch when you're doing any of these modes what your elevation and your radius is, because sometimes the drone will bump against that and it will stop it to cancel out of it like it does right here, so it doesn't actually complete the circle. The next mode we're going to share is the spiral, which is very similar to the circle except for it goes up a little bit higher as it goes instead of staying at the same elevation. Same note is remember where your elevation ceiling is when you're starting this, so my advice would be to start a little bit lower if you want to do a complete spiral. So out of all the modes that come out of the box, so far my favorite has been the boomerang. I like how it kind of goes up a little bit and then it comes back down to meet the elevation. I really thought that this was super cool, and I can see us using this on a lot of canyon shots here in the future. As you can see, this really gives great perspective for a dynamic natural environment.
So we just landed after the first battery. We've got about 30% left after doing all those shots. I'm pretty impressed with the drone so far. But next we're going to try the followy mode with the Subaru, because usually when we do adventures, that's kind of our biggest pain point with some of the older drones, especially the one we currently had before. And so I'm going to change out his battery real quick. We're going to hop in the Subaru and we're going to go on this little trail and see if it can follow us. And then we'll probably also try one of those parallel ones as well, because there's just so many shots that this guy can do. I am extremely impressed. I love the boomerang. The boomerang is really cool, and I can't wait to see these videos in post. The connectivity for the remote has been a lot better. So let me get this changed out and let's hop in the Subaru and go for a ride.
So for anybody who likes to adventure in their vehicle, on their bike, or even hiking, you're probably going to be using the follow me mode quite a bit. Now on the other drone we used previously, the follow me mode had several faults, which made the drone not connect correctly, and it wouldn't come out of follow me mode, which created a lot of problems on the trail. So typically we ended up using manual flight mode instead, but as you can see here, so far the drone is following the Subaru quite nicely. At this point, I was going about 5 to 6 miles an hour because there is some rocky terrain which is hard to see from the drone itself. But overall, I really feel like the follow me mode did quite well, even following the Subaru through these trees here in a minute. Another nice thing that we found out is that you could lightly just touch one of the buttons on the remote and it'll come directly out of follow me mode. So if it's extra sensitive, you want to keep that in mind as you drive. One thing though to keep in mind is because there is no object avoidance, is you're going to want to make sure you're taller than any of the obstacles that might be in your way. And that includes the elevation changes here. As you can see here, we're getting closer and closer and closer to the Subaru, and that's because the drone did not know that the terrain was going up, and so it stays level at the terrain level that you've selected. So just keep in mind here, we had to quickly get it out of follow me mode so that we didn't end up crashing into the top of the Subaru. The last mode we tried is this parallel mode, which I actually really like because it feels like it's just so dramatic, and this clip is sped up 200%. But you can tell, it gives you a different perspective than the follow me mode exactly, and so I really can see using these in conjunction with each other. I could see in the future using parallel mode along a shelf road, maybe in Moab, and also for any kind of cliffs that we're traversing that are wide and open. That would be super nice. But with the video quality and the way it was able to follow the Subaru, it was great. When we traversed through some trees here, it was able to find the Subaru and not lose it, so we didn't have any connection issues with it remaining in the parallel or follow me mode. This was something we were concerned about since the Subaru is pretty much the same color as some of the terrain that is around the areas we explore. Now we did run into one issue where the follow me mode did not want to update to its new home point. We never were prompted for that, so we started to return back the direction we came from, and we did run the battery to about 9% when it immediately decided that it was done and it was going to do an emergency landing. So if you're wondering what the threshold is, it's about 9%. But we had enough time that I was able to push the drone up and keep it from landing, and I was able to get it to the road where I was able to recover the drone without having to climb down the canyon.
So we've tested all the modes that are important to us when it comes to this Potensic Atom 2. And I can honestly say that it was impressive. It did lose the Subaru once when we were going uphill and almost hit it. So if you're doing a lot of elevation changes, you're gonna want to think about where you're going because it doesn't want to adjust that elevation. So that was one thing I did notice. So if you're an overlander, you're gonna want to keep that in mind. The other thing is we never got the update home. I don't know if it's because we were just like right over there and it just wasn't quite far enough, but we'll have to test that more in the future. But is this the best budget overlanding? Is this the best budget drone for overlanding and off-roaders? I would say if you're going to record for YouTube, absolutely, or for family memories, 100%. This guy, for the price point that you're paying, has all the features that we really need. The only thing it doesn't have is waypoints, but honestly, I don't know if I would use waypoints with all the other built-in modes that it comes with. I can honestly see us using this drone for years and years, and it is a perfect replacement for our Holy Stone 720E. So if you're on the fence about buying it and you're worried that it's not going to be worth the money for you, when you're going off with your family and doing adventures, but you still want a drone, you should stop questioning it. This is definitely the drone for families. It's the drone for off-roaders. So if you're going to need a drone for off-roading, you should probably go pick one of these guys up because I have a feeling he's going to be kind of popular.